Evening, folks. Question: how is it that these Palestinian supporters can muster up a crowd of 70, 80, maybe 100 people at the click of a finger, but yet when it comes to the far right, as they may call them, they seem to struggle to get numbers now? I was watching CJ Audit's Northern Ireland video earlier on. He was doing down at Cathedral Quarter, where they had this protest, a Palestinian protest, and it's supposed to be a peaceful protest, but as usual, as soon as they see citizen journalists, Freedom Dad was there as well, they started attacking them both. I was watching the video anyway, seeing what was happening. I jumped straight into a car and drove down into Cathedral Quarter. I parked the car up. By the time I got there, it was pretty peaceful. But what I did notice was I'd seen CJ was walking about. I think Freedom Dad had disappeared off the scene. CJ was still walking about the crowd, getting plenty of good footage, which I'll watch later on. What I did see was the same guy that was there that night at Musgrave Street, and we had a fight, the guy that was wearing a mask. He seems to be very prominent, and he seems to like to keep his face covered. Why would that be? What are you hiding from? What are you ashamed of? Strange that, isn't it? But anyway, I'll show you a wee clip here just to let you see what I'm talking about. Seen over in the corner there, the boy that was there tonight, we had a fight wearing a mask. A couple of them wearing masks, you know. And these people are so proud of what they stand for. Why are they covering their faces? Interesting. Causing some hassle, seen on CJ Audit's videos, causing the boys some hassle, so I nipped in just for a wee nosy and stood in the background. This is what I see. Yeah, as you've seen from that clip, there was quite a crowd, you know. I mean, for years, how can I say it, you know, I would have supported the innocent children and the innocent people of Gaza that were suffering due to attacks from Israel. But at the same time, you have to remember Hamas, non-terrorist not registered, but you know, Hamas are a terrorist organisation, and I also believe that they're the ones that are causing the people of Gaza more suffering than anything going on. And you know, this has been going on for years, folks. And the thing about those ones standing down there that are able to get their crowds to stand together for a Palestine protest, they're not even protesting for their own country, folks. They're not even protesting for their own country, but yet they can still get numbers. So, I mean, for myself, you all know by now, I hope, and if you don't, you see this video, it's Stormont on the 6th of September at 1 p.m. We will be heading up there in large numbers again. We have to see where we stand here, folks. How many of you people out there are really concerned about what's coming here? About what's already here? Let's face it, I mean, the numbers are nearly matching ours already. These hotels filled with these fighting age dangerous males. What happens to them once they get put out of the hotels? Are they going to get shipped on the boats and deported back to where they came from? I doubt it very much. I mean, how many more of our children have to be stalked, harassed, touched, or raped? I mean, that incident down there in Newtownards the other day, where actually a couple of heroes had seen this man that was trying to rape a female. Newtownards, they got a hold of this man and detained him in their van until the police arrived, and bravo to you folks that done that there. True patriots, you know. Here's the thing, folks, you know, the more and more we let this happen, the more and more it's going to happen. These people think they have a free roll here. They think they're running about in a country full of weak men because the men aren't coming out to stand. What did they do after that crowd in the town there, as you've seen the Palestine supporters? They headed up the Ainsworth Avenue because there's still a wee protest group going up there, folks, and there's still 20 of them going strong. They blocked off the road for an hour with their banners and their posters, and it was peaceful. Police did arrive, come up, tried to have a conversation, but Nobody was entertaining it. Nobody was going to claim to be an organiser, because we all know these things are just organised out of thin air these days. So again, bravo to the ones from Ainsworth Drive that are still going. The Shore Road are still going strong. They had big numbers out the other night there. Now, there is another protest going to Chimney Corner on Thursday, this Thursday at 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. back to the Chimney Corner. That one is coming out of the Newton Abbey concerned residents, as there is a lot of concerned residents up in Newton Abbey, and still, again, there should be more. I mean, this hotel's holding over 100 of these unvetted, undocumented, fighting age males right across the road from a nursery. And speaking of the nursery, you might remember that video I done a while back where that post had come out talking about these Afghanis are going to get housed up and they're going to attack our schools. I also went on to talk about how our schools have been preparing, doing drills for what I thought maybe a terrorist attack, maybe, or could be. But at the same time, I was sort of thinking to myself, what if it's something different? I mean, they're putting big bolts and shutters on these schools, and most of us know that there's another scamdemic over the horizon here. It should be here soon. Maybe when we get into the darker nights, who knows? Maybe the start of next year. But here's a thought. What if they're actually barricading and securing these schools up for when this pandemic breaks out? Imagine, if you will, 3 or 4 children in a classroom that get sick of this new invisible threat that's going to be flying about, and it's coming as well. And what they'll do is they'll shut that classroom down. That classroom will have to be quarantined. I'm just thinking out here sort of, how they'll run about their operations with this next pandemic they've got planned. They'll have our kids in the schools. If 3 or 4 of the kids in one class get sick, what will they do? They'll shut that classroom down, folks. And maybe, just maybe there's a possibility that they're putting all these shutters and locks and gates on the schools to keep us out when they say that we cannot get our children because they're being quarantined in the schools. So that's another angle, folks, to come at. I mean, let's face it, all these bastards worship Moloch. And what is Moloch? Moloch is one that loves our children to suffer. Some of these evil rulers of this world tend to worship this deity, and that's why our children tend to suffer. Hundreds of years, the child slave trains back in the 1800s, 1850s, they had the child slave trains back then. So children for a long time have always been getting persecuted. You can talk about it in the Bible where King Herod, he wanted all the youngs to be executed from 2 onwards in a chase for the Messiah. Folks, on Saturday, that protest at the March for Jesus, it really showed me what our people are capable of. It showed me the Protestants and Catholics and all other kinds of people under the same roof. They can come together in large numbers. There was thousands attended that, and folks, let's face it, we're going to need that to protest against this government, because this government's just laughing. There may be many protests starting up all around the place, but on another note, I always told you that was preparing your communities, that was getting to know each other again. So again, Chimney Corner this Thursday at 7 p.m, folks. I just thought I'd leave that thought with you. We must continue. The people of Newton Abbey, you must come out. You must stand with your brothers and sister patriots that are going to Newton Abbey Chimney Corner Hotel again on Thursday. That has to happen, folks. We need to make some noise. If there was ever a time for a revolution, don't you think it's now?
All you have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to you. You won't get to choose how long you're here. You won't know how many sunrises you have left. You don't get to rewind, pause, or skip the hard chapters. All you get is now.